Creatinine too high. These 3 kidney-safe nuts to eat and 3 you must avoid. It often starts so quietly. Your legs feel a little heavier than usual, your rings fit tighter, your mornings come with that dull fatigue that coffee just can't shake. These small signs may seem harmless, but for millions of Americans over 50, they're early whispers of kidney strain, the kind that pushes your creatinine levels higher each year without you noticing. According to the National Kidney Foundation, nearly 37 million adults in the U.S. have some form of kidney disease, and most don't find out until it's advanced. After 50, the kidneys naturally lose about 1% of their filtering power every year. Meaning what you eat now matters more than ever. Here's something few people talk about: diet is not just a supporting factor, it's the most powerful trigger behind rising creatinine. And while many seniors try to eat healthy, even the so-called superfoods can quietly make things worse. But the good news is, this doesn't have to be complicated. Once you know which nuts protect your kidneys and which ones overload them, it becomes much easier to take control again. And if you've been feeling any of those signs, stay with me, because I've narrowed it down to the exact 6 nuts that can make or break your kidney health. If that sounds important to you, hit the notification bell. Subscribe, and let's find out which ones truly deserve a place in your kitchen. 1. Hazelnuts. Most people don't realize it, but after 50, your kidneys can lose nearly 40% of their filtering power, quietly, without warning. One day your creatinine test looks fine, the next it starts creeping up. That's why what you snack on matters more than you think. Take hazelnuts, for example. They're often dismissed as a sweet ingredient for desserts, but the truth is, this nut has one of the most kidney-friendly mineral profiles you can find. With only about 290 milligrams of potassium and less than 150 milligrams of phosphorus per 100 grams, hazelnuts put much less pressure on your filtration system than almonds or cashews. What makes them special is their richness in oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that doesn't just lower cholesterol, it helps kidneys stay elastic and oxygenated. According to the National Kidney Foundation, 2021, higher monounsaturated fat intake can slow down renal stress markers in adults over 55. And that's the secret: oleic acid doesn't push your kidneys to work harder, it helps them rest better. If your creatinine has started to rise, you might notice subtle signs: mild swelling in the ankles, foamy urine, or waking up tired even after a full night's sleep. These are early warnings your kidneys are overloaded, and hazelnuts can play a quiet role in calming that inflammation. For practical use, keep it simple. Eat 10 to 12 unsalted roasted hazelnuts per day. Preferably in the morning when your blood filtration is naturally most active. Better yet, soak them overnight in room temperature water for 6 to 8 hours before eating. It makes the magnesium more bioavailable and reduces natural compounds that slow digestion. Avoid snack mix versions, they're usually coated with sodium or chocolate, both of which push creatinine levels even higher. The result? More stable energy, steadier blood pressure, and kidneys that don't have to fight against constant sodium overload. But there's one nut that works on a completely different level, not by protecting, but by activating blood flow inside your kidneys themselves. 2. Pine nuts. Unlike most nuts, pine nuts are more than just healthy fats, they're a natural way to improve microcirculation. That's because they contain pinolenic acid, a fatty acid that triggers nitric oxide production in blood vessels. When nitric oxide levels rise, your kidneys' tiny filters, the glomeruli, get better blood supply and more oxygen. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2020, adults who consumed pine nuts daily for 8 weeks showed a clear improvement in nitric oxide markers, a sign of enhanced vessel dilation. If you've ever noticed your hands or feet getting colder or swelling at night, that's not just poor circulation, it's your kidneys struggling to move fluid efficiently. Pine nuts help by easing that microvascular tension. The difference can be subtle at first: less puffiness in your face, fewer nighttime bathroom trips, and more stable morning blood pressure, but moderation is key. These nuts are nutrient-packed. 1 tablespoon, around 30 pine nuts, is the ideal daily amount. Eating too many adds excess calories and can upset your stomach due to their dense oils. Choose raw or lightly toasted ones. Once the surface turns dark, much of their pinolenic acid is destroyed. Here's a lesser-known trick: combine pine nuts with a few drops of fresh lemon juice or a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. The vitamin C and polyphenol help your body use nitric oxide longer. Keeping vessels open for hours after eating. That's something you won't get from supplements, and timing matters. Try eating them about 30 minutes before your main meal. It helps control appetite naturally while improving kidney perfusion during digestion. Think of it as a gentle push for your kidneys to breathe better, without stress. Still, if you want something truly soft, grounding, and low in fat, a food that comforts you like bread yet protects your kidneys like medicine, there's only one nut that fits that role perfectly. 3. Chestnuts. Chestnuts aren't like other nuts. They're mostly starch, not fat, and that's exactly why they're so good for kidneys that have to process less oil but still need clean energy. With less than 1 gram of fat per ounce and a potassium level nearly 40% lower than peanuts, chestnuts provide slow-release carbohydrates that keep your blood sugar and kidney load stable throughout the day. That's why people in southern Europe used to call them the poor man's bread: soft on the stomach, easy on the kidneys, but what makes them uniquely healing is their antioxidant density. Chestnuts carry vitamin C, up to 40 mg per 100 grams, something almost no other nut has. Vitamin C protects your nephrons, those microscopic kidney filters, from oxidative damage caused by aging and high blood pressure. A 2019 European Food Safety Authority review confirmed that older adults who consumed low-fat, vitamin C-rich foods like boiled chestnuts had significantly lower renal oxidative markers than those who ate high-fat snacks. If you've been feeling unusually fatigued, noticed ankle tightness, or a metallic taste in your mouth, these are often overlooked signs of creatinine buildup. Chestnuts help by offering glucose your body can burn cleanly, without producing as much nitrogen waste, meaning less filtration stress. To get the most from them, boil instead of roast. Boiling preserves almost all the vitamin C and keeps the texture moist and easy to digest, while roasting can destroy nearly half that benefit. Eat 3 to 4 boiled chestnuts per snack, preferably warm. The starches become more digestible and release energy gradually. For an extra edge, sprinkle a pinch of cinnamon on top. It slows glucose absorption and helps maintain healthy kidney filtration rates. Compared to other nuts like almonds or walnuts, which are high in phosphorus, chestnuts are safer for those managing creatinine because they deliver comfort without excess minerals. They let your kidneys rest, not react. But while some nuts truly help your kidneys recover and keep creatinine under control, others hide behind a healthy label yet quietly do the opposite, slowly raising your numbers no matter how carefully you eat. 1. Brazil nuts. Most people think Brazil nuts are the picture of health: rich, exotic, even luxurious. But what most don't realize is that just 2 Brazil nuts contain more than 200 micrograms of selenium, which already exceeds the upper safe limit set by the National Institutes of Health. Selenium is essential in small doses, but after 50, when kidney filtration naturally slows, that same mineral becomes a hidden toxin. Excess selenium lingers in the blood, generating oxidative stress that quietly inflames the kidney filters, the tiny glomeruli that remove waste like creatinine. You might not feel it right away, but early warning signs appear as subtle fatigue, a faint metallic taste in the mouth, or unusually dry skin, signals your kidneys are struggling to push the waste out. What makes Brazil nuts particularly deceptive is how small the line is between benefit and harm. A younger person might handle 3 or 4 without consequence, but for someone with rising creatinine, that's like asking a tired heart to run a marathon. One overlooked trick that can make a real difference is pairing the nut with vitamin C-rich fruit, like half a cup of strawberries. The antioxidants help neutralize selenium's reactive byproducts, easing the oxidative load on your kidneys. Another practical adjustment: if you can't resist the rich flavor, keep it to no more than 1 nut per week, literally 1. It's enough to maintain healthy thyroid support without tipping your selenium levels into the danger zone. Even better, replace Brazil nuts with walnuts or pecans, which provide omega-3s and magnesium without overwhelming your system. The lesson is simple but powerful: sometimes it's not what you eat, but how much of it your body can still handle after 50 that defines whether it heals you or harms you. 2. Sunflower seeds. sunflower seeds feel harmless, they're small, crunchy, and everywhere. But what's rarely mentioned is that most commercial brands are coated with 150 to 200 milligrams of sodium per ounce, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And who eats just an ounce? Sit through one evening of TV and you can easily down triple that amount without realizing it. For an aging kidney, sodium is like sand in the gears, it pulls water into your bloodstream, raising pressure inside the delicate kidney filters and slowing creatinine clearance. The first hints are subtle: swollen fingers in the morning, shoes that feel tighter than usual, or a puffy face after salty snacks. These are not harmless cosmetic issues, they're signs of sodium overload that forces your kidneys to retain water. What's worse, many sunflower seeds are also roasted in oil and sprinkled with preservatives that compound the problem. There's a small but powerful fix most people never consider: soaking raw, unsalted sunflower seeds for about 30 minutes in warm water with a few drops of lemon juice. The acid helps leach out part of the natural sodium and phosphorus, reducing the kidney load in one simple step. And if you're looking for an even faster switch, unsalted macadamia nuts are a safer choice. They have roughly half the sodium and phosphorus content, yet still deliver the satisfying crunch. The difference this small change makes can be felt in a matter of weeks: less bloating, steadier energy, and even slightly lower blood pressure. The key isn't to quit snacking, it's to stop letting those tiny salted shells sabotage your kidney's quiet fight for balance. Sometimes the most dangerous foods aren't the ones that taste bad, but the ones that taste too good to stop. 3. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are everywhere now, in salads, smoothies, even protein bars. They're marketed as heart-healthy, yet what most kidney specialists warn about is their staggering phosphorus load, around 400 milligrams per ounce, based on U.S. Department of Agriculture data. For someone with high creatinine, that number is a red flag. When phosphorus accumulates, it binds with calcium in the bloodstream, forming microscopic crystals that lodge in your kidneys and blood vessels. Over time, those deposits stiffen your arteries and reduce the kidney's ability to filter. The body tries to compensate by pulling calcium from bones, which is why people with kidney stress often feel joint pain or notice brittle nails long before blood tests reveal anything unusual. Pumpkin seeds amplify that process faster than most realize. But there's a way to soften the blow: if you occasionally enjoy them, roast them lightly at 160 degrees Celsius 320 degrees Fahrenheit for just 10 minutes, then rinse them under warm water. This simple extra step washes off some of the surface phosphorus and residual salt. Another practical habit is timing: avoid eating pumpkin seeds at night. Kidney filtration slows naturally during sleep, so consuming high phosphorus foods in the evening means your body stores more of it instead of eliminating it. A better alternative for that crunchy evening craving is unsalted cashews. They contain nearly 60% less phosphorus and still satisfy that texture your brain loves. It's not that pumpkin seeds are bad by nature, it's that aging kidneys lose the margin of error they once had. What keeps one person healthy at 30 can quietly harm another at 60, simply because the filters can't handle the same chemical load. Recognizing that change, and adjusting early, can mean the difference between maintaining your independence and needing lifelong monitoring. If today's video helped you understand your body a little better, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and most importantly, share it with someone you care about. You never know whose health you might help protect just by sharing this message. And if there's any topic you'd like me to cover next, something you've been personally struggling with or just curious about, leave a comment below. I read every single one, and your story might inspire the next video that helps thousands of others. So, to sum it up, protecting your kidneys isn't about fear, it's about awareness and small, smarter choices that add up to real change. Some foods heal, others harm, and now you know how to tell the difference. Every better choice you make gives your body the relief it's been asking for: less pressure, more clarity, more energy. You can feel the difference when you start treating your kidneys like the silent heroes they are. And here's something to think about while you're still here: do you know which common breakfast habit silently raises your kidney load every single morning? You'll find the answer in the video I've linked right here on the screen, so don't miss it. Watch it now and take the next step toward protecting your health and independence for years to come.